Welcome to the Adam Rothstein Hockey Podcast. This is your podcast for all things hockey. On this podcast, we talk about past history to the modern day and what you can do to grow the sport. I am your host, Adam Rothstein. All right, let's get to the show. Welcome back to the Adam Rothstein Hockey Podcast. I have a special one for you today. So today we are talking about benchwarmers, reserve players, and people that just don't get enough playing time. So as some of you have known, if you've been with me for the beginning journey of this podcast, I didn't get a lot of playing time in high school, and I definitely am a bit salty about that at times, but it does lead me to help out the next generation of bench players and those that have not been a part of the game as long as some of the other kids, or are just not as athletically skilled. So there is that. And I do want to also go over how the coaches can really help with this. Now, if you are a bench player, go to a stick and puck. Test your skills. In fact, if anything, get a pair of rollerblades as well and just work on getting used to backwards skating, transitioning, pivoting to forwards, pivoting to backwards, not turning your back against someone, and also go on YouTube too. Look at I Train Hockey as well. Sean Walker, I think his name is, or Sean Parker. I think it's Walker actually. He teaches so many things that it's like, I didn't see anyone doing this in high school. I didn't know that if you stopped on your outside edge, you could it would be easier for you to stop and turn on a dime. I didn't know that. And no one was doing it too. I didn't see it at all. And and everyone had the full turn with the cone. Like it was not that tight. I mean, it was, but when you stop on your outside edge, it's tighter than a bolt. You could turn from the size of a bolt, or well, at least a hockey puck too. And so you can sort of come up, stop, and then transition back. But it's not a full stop. You just go back and also you sink into it, and then you just work on it like that. And yeah, there's that. Okay. Now for the bench players, start off, be the first up there, and watch the coach carefully. Be the first to go up. Don't be in the back. You know, be up in the first part of the line if you can, and just show that you can do it too, and practice, and ask hey, what drills are we doing? What do I need to work on to really improve this skill? And some of you in high school hockey are club players. You are let's see, you're not, it's not like a private school too. And even if you're in a private school and you're not getting a lot of playing time, I mean, your parents are paying $20,000 a year. Your parents are paying maybe even $50,000. They're paying the amount for, almost like a brand new Mercedes for you to go to school. Okay. Yes, your education comes first, and if you don't have the grades up, that's your first priority. But assuming that you have everything in place and your grades are decent, ask the coach, hey, I want to get more playing time. Hey, what do I need to do to improve? And I don't think that's unreasonable too. I mean, I actually was congratulated from my coach once, my high school coach, after I scored my first JV goal, and this was also my senior year, and we had a JV team, and I was good on it, and it was a bunch of house players, and I actually was decent at it, and I think I had an assist, and a goal, but I certainly had the goal, but it's also, hey, I'm good at this. I'm better at this. I find myself better at this, not as well as defense. Put me in as a forward, and he did too in my final night as a senior, and I actually did get a decent amount of playing time, and even though we only played 10 games that year for varsity, I actually got to be a part of the last play too. So even though I didn't get as much time as I wanted, I still was able to get some time. Now, I do think he was not the best coach for us to win games. I think after you lose 10-0, I get it. You skate us hard and do all that. And we do miracles for the first, 30 minutes of practice. But it's like, but even that too, I'm sort of questioning, like I, maybe I'll save those miracles for the end of practice, but that's on me. It's like, because I don't think if you mishandle, it's not a simple mishandle. I think it's, it was a system, it's a systems issue. If you're not running the system, and if you do not have a system in place of how to forecheck, how to do all that, and how to back check and forecheck, and just make sure that everything is good and they understand this enough, I feel like I failed too. And also, I didn't see that there was a lot of things in this YouTube channel called I Train Hockey, and I certainly like this guy Sean Walker as well. So you can search him out on YouTube. I Train Hockey. There are so many things in this, and it's like I'm looking at the comments too, of how I didn't even know this stuff, and I'm using this to improve in my beer league, and these are adults too, and imagine what high schoolers could do. I mean, high school hockey is hard enough, but I think as a coach, I have to make sure you can skate before anything, and that's why players in Germany don't actually play the game until they're almost like 12 years older, or they have to, at the very least, be the best skaters possible. And Germany has a really different way of it too. But I do think that you have to start with skating and conditioning. I would even take these kids off ice and just really get them working, really get their cardio up, and just seeing, okay, where are they? How is their stamina? And can this work out in a certain way? I need to know that too. Now, also as a coach, I do want to see my players that are reserves or bench warmers get in the game too. And I think my high school coach, seeing me succeed in the last game and actually being able to play against a decent team what made him happy too. That I worked hard to get to that point, even though we didn't go to the playoffs or anything, and that was the final game of the season. I think I did make him proud, and I'm glad. And Coach Abraham, if you're watching this on Spotify or YouTube or whatever, thank you very much. Um, and I'm glad I could make you proud. Yeah. But okay, but back to the bench warmers. I want to make sure that everyone can play the game well enough. And and if I need to call on the bench warmers and just have a team meeting, and I do want everyone in too. And to make sure that those players on either defense or offense can take a couple of shifts so that I can get some rest from one of the guys, and then just have the D line change or the regular offense line change or the regular red line change, or I guess we'll call that the O line of wingers and centers change. I need to make sure that they can play the game and they have a good support on them as well. I really do think that I mean, if you're paying $1,000 to even if you're just doing club, it's expensive as well. And I'm assuming that they would also just say a straight $1,000 as well. I don't want to fail them, and I don't want to have their parents also breathing down my throat too. But I've got to give them a little extra shift. I've got to do something to make sure that to give them the confidence. And it's not just about the ice too. It's the confidence to succeed in life. I was just in a Nomad Network meeting, and one of the guys said that, you know, it made me happy that I had this client come to me and I gave him the skills, and then he gets a job in you know, esports, and it's like I gave him the skills too. It's what the guy said, and then it's like, and then, you know, his client comes back to him and says, "Thank you. You know, I would have not been where I am without you, and I have to thank you." And then no, it's them that does the work. It's the players that do the work. It's the client that does the work as well. But you just set them up for success. And when you put them out on the ice and you've taught them the best game they can do, I think they rock. And when I got to college, I was clearly a better player, but I just don't think I could handle the hitting. That's why I eventually became the assistant coach. But and I also didn't have to worry about players not getting ice time because everyone had at least played travel A, at least. They at least were used to travel hockey too. So they at least got some playing time. Others didn't get as much, but I didn't have to worry too much about that. So everyone that was on that bench played. And when I was on that bench, I didn't get to play a lot. And I probably will go down as the Towson Tiger with the least amount of playing time, because I probably only got like a minute or so, but total, because I there was just teammates that just outcompeted me. They just outcompeted me too. And I probably would have done better in D3 club or better in roller, but I think given what I was dealt with was probably the most important experience to me. And it's that, you're going to find yourself very out of place at times. And this goes for the coaches. Goes for the players. You're going to find yourself very out of place at times. And you're going to think, I can't do this too. I had a magazine article about me 10 years ago. And I never thought, 11 years ago that would even be possible. In fact, I almost got rejected from this university. But to find myself in that position and just have an impact on my teammates was important. If you're a reserve player in even college and you're just out competed by everyone, don't beat yourself down. I mean, you worked hard, especially if you made it to the NCAA, whether that's D3, D2, or D1. You're better than most players. And there's 32 NHL teams. There's a bunch of professional leagues. I mean, let's take baseball, for example. About the NCAA college players, at least the D1 NCAA college players, are about 2-3 steps below it, and I guess pretty much all NCAA players could be 2 or 3 steps below it, but they're playing with metal bats and as well. You probably could compete with some of the NHL players if you're at like Michigan State or Michigan or Minnesota, and you're top of your game too. But it's you're the elite in my mind. If you've played college hockey, you had your fair share of a shift. It's okay. I mean, you're there. Be grateful for that. And like what I said for the high school, the high schoolers, just keep going. And if your coach has like 30 other guys, I mean, you could only play 24, 22, or 20, depending on what the league rules are. Don't beat yourself up over it, because, I clearly can compete with them in practice and skate with them back when I was 20 years old, but I'm not going to blame them for just outworking me too. But still, it's no excuse for you not to have an impact on your teammates. You could walk away, you could sulk, but I don't like that. I never liked that. I didn't have a brother growing up, so my teammates were my brothers. And with that, I mean, like, I valued them because they were amazing people, and I was able to impact their lives. Some of them still call me Coach Adam, and I'm grateful for that, even though some of them are older than me. I miss them like crazy. And in January, I've got to find a way to get up there and go play as well. And I do want to compete with again, and I'm doing beer league too. And guess what? When they get out of college, I mean, you're probably going to play non-checking, and you're still going to have those skills from when you were younger. So be grateful for what you have. One thing, if you're young, there's always time to improve your skills, and just keep doing your drills. For the coaches, I want to tell you this: take them out, get them to work on their stick handling, and get their cardio up. See if you can get into the basketball gym during not winter, or just find a flat surface and just take them out to an area, or maybe even I wouldn't or some area of a flat surface and just get their cardio up, have them stick handle in a box or something like ball hockey, and just like get them used to it as well, because you're not always going to have the ice. So I say get some cardio in them, and just help them get in shape too, and do some off ice training. And with that being said, that'll do it for the episode. There is a person I do want to shout out though, and that is Zach Arden. Zach, I thank you for following me out on Instagram. Much appreciated. If you happen to see this episode, or you're watching me, once again, thank you. And let's get you on the podcast too. Let's do this. So with that being said, stay safe, stay great. I'll talk to you all in the next episode. Bonus episode for the paid subscribers will be on Substack as well. So thank you very much and have a wonderful day. Take care.